everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. And we are going to do something a little bit different this week. We are going to start a show where we talk about what happened in the last week and what we can look forward to potentially this week, some predictions and things like that. So before we get into it, if you could, please drop down, hit the subscribe button if you like Hot Toys and 1/6 scale content. Please hit the like button and please hit the little bell for notifications. Now, we got a few announcements this week, and we got a few third-party announcements this week. We did get one major announcement from Hot Toys, and that was the Batman quarter scale from Dark Knight Rises. We also did get our first promo final photo looks at The Flash from the TV show. So if you would, consider going back and checking out my video on that I posted on Monday. And then in that video, I talk about what my predictions were for this week, and I was completely way off. So we're going to clip over here, and we're going to go check out the new Batman figure, which looks really nice. So this is the Batman Special Edition. This is off of Sideshow's website, $595. It's quarter scale, so obviously it's a little bit bigger than 6 scale. And I don't really do quarter scale figures. I've never had one. I don't collect them. If I was going to, it would definitely probably start with this one because this figure looks absolutely phenomenal. The head sculpt looks great. I love the base, and we'll get a good look at the base here in just a second. Which you can see there, the back with the gun, or with his, that's what it was. It was kind of his, we'll see what they call it here in just a second, but there's another good shot of it. I mean, I think this figure looks absolutely amazing. So we do have him coming in 6 scale version. I believe it's scheduled for next summer, and this is the special edition. The accessory you get with it, you get an additional exclusive accessory, Batman cowl. But I don't think you can put that on the figure. But you can kind of mess around with it there. That looks pretty cool. There he is there again. I mean, it looks really good. But like I said, I don't collect a quarter scale. I've never really been in a quarter scale. There's a good look at the base with the villains of each movie, Ra's al Ghul, Joker, and Bane. Looks really good. That's really cool that they did that. I would definitely display it this way. I wouldn't display it with the kind of that eagle there on the front. I would display it that way with the villains back here. Looks really good. This is very creative. Dark Knight Rises Batman. Yeah, it looks really good. Definitely if I was going to get this, I definitely would have displayed it that way. So he is available next. It's actually 2023, spring of 2023, April to June. So he's quite a ways off. So the good thing is, if you wanted to go layaway with it, obviously there's your layaway plan starting in October, $66 a month until May. Which, whenever I can utilize the flex layaway, whatever they call it. Actually, they call it both. I do that just because it seems to be a little bit easier to manage as many figures as I buy and things like that. So yeah, you get the one EMP rifle. That's what I was trying to think of, was EMP rifle. And there you can see a bunch of cool stuff. So I mean, I think this is a nice release. So this was the only major Hot Toys release we got this week. We didn't see any Eternals. We didn't see any new Spider-Man stuff, things like that. Any kind of maybe another figure from past movies, like potentially from Shang-Chi or from Loki or anything like that. I was kind of thinking we would probably get an Eternals release this week, but they gave us this one instead. So I'm going to push that prediction to this week. I think that there's a good chance that we get Thena released or put up for pre-order this week. But other than that, I don't know if we'll see anything else this week. I think we'll just see that one figure. But, and that's one thing we didn't talk about. I didn't talk about my thoughts on the film. I thought the film was good. I didn't think it. I don't think it's a, a top. I wouldn't put it in my top 10 MCU movies, but I definitely wouldn't put it, as the worst, dead last, anything like that. I thought the film was very well done. I like the landscaping shots of the film. I thought that those were phenomenal. Was really pleased with those. Things like that. I thought the story was okay, with them being, through history and kind of curving and molding society as humans, evolve and things like that through the years. I like that. I thought that was good. I thought the use of the Celestials was really good. I was kind of confused that I was a little off-put by the fact that the Celestials, and we could understand everything in English. It's like the Celestials spoke in English. I kind of expected them to speak in some sort of weird tongue with like some subtitles or things like that. So that was kind of different that they would speak, in clear English. But I think that's just kind of the way they wanted to go that route with it. So, with that being said, we did get a couple of these life-size replicas, I think re-released, because I remember Hot Toys doing these a while back, but I didn't pick any of them up. This was the Captain Marvel pager that she gives Nick Fury at the end of Captain Marvel, and then we see at the end of Infinity War. And then let's go back here, and let's go into the main. Let's just go into the main shop here, because I believe there is a arc reactor also. Should be right around here somewhere. They might have sold them by now, because usually if they re-release stuff, they don't stay on the website very long. In fact, I don't see them now. So they might have. Yeah, it looks like they probably sold them. Nope, there they are. Yeah, so you get the Mark 85 arc reactor, which looks pretty cool. It's $116. The pager was only $75. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm not really into those. I know a lot of people are. I'm just not really into those. But that one's pretty neat. Get a good look at it there. It looks like it's, I guess you can take it off the base. It says magnetic function. I guess you can wear it on your shirt. That's pretty cool though. You can clip it to your shirt or something like that. That's neat. But, I've got a couple like prop replica things. I've got an Ant-Man helmet. I've got a, what else do I have? The gauntlets. And that might be it, actually. So, but as far as like wait lists this week, we did see the Batman Beyond figure go to wait list, which he is around here somewhere. Which, if you want to go back and take a look at that, that was on the channel. I posted a video about that on the channel a couple weeks ago or a week ago or whatever it was. So he did go to wait list. The wait list is still open, so you still have an opportunity there to potentially snag him before he goes to sold out, and then you're stuck with the aftermarket and paying those aftermarket prices. And the figure is a great figure. Go back and check out my review on it. It's a phenomenal figure that's got some really good accessories with it and things like that. It's got a lot of accessories too. So that was probably one that if you were looking to get, you're probably kind of kicking yourself now because, it's now waitlisted. Because anytime a figure goes waitlist, the aftermarket price jumps a little bit. So, and it's just kind of a rule of thumb. It's not a hard and fast rule like, oh yeah, boom, it happens. Because some of the figures, they'll stay around the typical price range. You're going to pay a little extra on the aftermarket, but you're not going to pay like crazy figures. But, there's always that chance. That's probably a figure that I would say probably is going to stay around. Let's go back. I think it's a 285 figure is what that one would run you. 281. So aftermarket wise, you're probably looking at like $325. You're probably going to pay about $50 more. I don't see that thing jumping to like $400 or $500 or anything like that. But this one right here, definitely you're paying probably $350 to $400 for a Boba Fett from Empire Strikes Back. So You might want to keep that in mind as you try to go back and maybe pick up some of these figures that have already gone to wait list. So, just scroll through here, go back one more page. We'll see Batman figure. So you get two options with that quarter scale Batman figure. You get the regular and then the special edition. They're both $5.95, so I don't know why you would. I don't really know why you wouldn't want the special edition over the regular editions, as they're the same price. Because even the Spider-Man ones are different, but the bases were different on those quarter scale figures. So, yeah. And we did also see a few, actually, no, before we get into the third party, let's go back and let's find the Flash. Since he did get his final production photos this week. Get a look here. $250, not a bad price for that figure, I don't think. I know some people are kind of hating on it a little bit. I don't know. Like I said that I mentioned this in the video that I did on Monday. I quit watching the show after like the second season. I just kind of, it wasn't that it was a bad show. I thought the show was good. I just kind of fell out of it. I didn't really keep up with it. But, I mean, I think the suit looks okay. I always thought his suit was more one color, though, than this kind of this two-tone red. But it could just be me misremembering it. I thought it was more of this color here and this color here. This is kind of more two-toned red. I thought that was more... I thought these would match a little more, but I don't know. I think it's a good looking figure. I'll probably pick it up. But it's weird that they did just, it's weird. It's weird to me that they did the Flash, but they haven't done Arrow or any of the other DC shows. That to me, that just kind of comes out of nowhere. And maybe that's a problem with that figure, is you're going to struggle to pose him and get him on a shelf with other figures that kind of, that will couple with him. I mean, we just look at the other figures in this row. Mysterio's Iron Man illusion, throw him up there with Mysterio and Homemade Spider-Man, and boom, you got a nice set. Miles Morales 2020 suit, you can throw him up there with the other Spider-Man from the game, boom. Harley Quinn. If you have a Joker, you could throw her with the Joker. You could throw her with the other Harley Quinns. Mandalorian, of course, that's an easy one. And I did hear, now that I'm scrolling down here, I did also hear on Friday that Cable was supposedly reached in, and I lost my internet connection. That Cable was supposedly released in Hong Kong. However, I didn't see any official word from Hot Toys on him, nor did I see any kind of final blogger photos. So to me, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but to me, I'm probably going to wait to say, yeah, here's, the final production photos. Here are, here's the announcement from Hot Toys, or pictures of the boxes. They always show, the pallet of boxes shipping out of the HQ there in Hong Kong, and I didn't see any of that. So I'm taking that release right now with a grain of salt. If, tomorrow rolls around and then boom, there he is, then that's great. We'll do a video on him, things like that, on the photos. So we'll take, get the final look at him before he starts hitting the streets. But, until that happens, I just take it with a grain of salt. We don't know that he did officially get released. I know that the people who said that, they've all been pretty reliable in the past, but this is the first time where I've seen them announce stuff and then we didn't get some sort of blogger photos or announcement from, Hot Toys saying, hey, this was released, boom, get ready. So, but really, other than that, I was kind of on the Hot Toys side of things. That was pretty much where we're at for this week. Going forward into this week, I would say that, if those rumors are true, we will see our final production blogger photos for Cable. And I just got a feeling that we're probably going to see Thena released this week. My guess is probably midweek sometime. And, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the head sculpt on it, and hopefully they do sculpted hair. They don't do rooted hair. So that's just kind of my preference. But as far as Hot Toys goes, that's kind of my first thought of what we can see for this week. And then, obviously with Disney Plus Day being yesterday, or no, excuse me, day before on Friday, we got a good look at some of their new properties. We saw Moon Knight, a pretty good, I'd say 20 seconds, 30 seconds of that. Same for She-Hulk. And we got a couple, images we got that one image from Secret Invasion. We got some new Ms. Marvel news and some new footage from that. And that kind of makes me think about, okay, what figures could they possibly do from Moon Knight? Okay, well, obviously Moon Knight, would they do the full costume and then potentially, him not in costume? Mark Spector not in costume, just kind of by himself. Would they do both those figures, or would we have to rely on a third party to kind of give us that look? And then, how often, if he's in Moon Knight, we'll just say costume for the sake of a better, because I'm sure there's going to be a term for him switching to those kind of personalities that he goes through. Would we see them do a full, head sculpt of Mark Spector and put it on the suit? I don't know if you would even ever see that on screen. Because I would say while he is in the suit, he's probably going to have his mask on the entire time. So would we potentially get or would they do like what they did with Boba Fett? Gave us, the Boba Fett and then the other Boba Fett with the deluxe where he's got the black cloak on and things like that. Would they potentially do that? I don't know. And we don't really know much more about that series right now than that. So I wouldn't. Right now, I would think that's probably the only figure we're getting. She-Hulk, I really hope they give us She-Hulk. I doubt they do a Jennifer Walters by herself. They would probably just give us a regular She-Hulk figure. And she had, if you go back and look at the footage, she had the, in fact, we can probably just look at that. Let's just look at that together. She was in the purple and white. So this was the clip from. You see there, she's in that purple and white. We could get him. We could get a Hulk figure. See, I have a feeling that right there is. Let me go back a little bit here. So I have a feeling that kind of this shot right here is kind of playing on that original Hulk series with Lou Ferrigno. Because that's where the "Don't make me angry, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry" comes from. Is from that series. So I just have a feeling that that's kind of what they're paying a homage to. And of course, she breaks the fourth wall right there, turns and looks at the camera and says that. So I mean, that's the fourth wall break. And there's our look at Secret Invasion. Are they going to give us all of us in this one? They might give us all in this one. I'm not really going to talk about Secret Invasion that much because we don't know what's really going on with it yet. I would say we get a Ms. Marvel figure in her final form. We might get one of her in that form right there. I think that would be kind of cool to see. So that's a potential there as well. Here we go. Here's the Moon Knight footage. I like this look, and then he's still looking in the. There that's him full suited. I think that's going to be a great series. Yeah, we got What If Season 2. I'm not going to talk about that. Agatha House of Harkness. Hopefully we'll get an Agatha figure. Spider-Man Freshman Year, that's animated. And Echo, that was a surprise for me. I didn't realize they were doing that show. I Am Groot, that's animated. We probably won't get anything out of that. Ironheart, they didn't show any footage on that, just updated title card. Marvel Zombies, we could potentially get a Zombies figure. And then X-Men 97, so I'll pause right here. I honestly think that we could potentially get some X-Men 97 figures either out of Hot Toys or potentially just out of Sideshow. I think that'd be really awesome if we got that full lineup of the classic X-Men cartoon from 92. And then, of course, this is that updated version of 97. It'd be really cool if we could get some of those figures. I think they'd look great on the shelf. But, one can hope. And that's it for that. So we got to look at all that stuff. So, I think there's potential there for, a handful of figures, especially from Hot Toys. I mean, of course, I would think we'd get Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel. Secret Invasion, I don't really know yet. They haven't done a Nick Fury in what, since the last Nick Fury was Winter Soldier, I think was the figure we got. So they haven't done a Nick Fury in forever. I really thought we'd get one for Captain Marvel, but we didn't. So maybe we'll get an updated Nick Fury finally after, 6 years, 7 years, whatever it's been since Winter Soldier, which is 2014, I think. So yeah, 7 years. It'll be 8 years by the time Secret Invasion rolls around. So hopefully we'll get an updated Nick Fury figure. And then, so let's move over into the world of third-party stuff. So this is on 1/6 scale Outfitters. We did get the announcement for the Raven Blade or Corvus Glaive figure. This is from Toys Battle On, which is pretty much a Toys era sub-company. So we did get this. I did put this on pre-order this week, so I will have it in hand to do a review whenever it gets released. I think it looks really good. The face, a little bit, I like that they did the dynamic on it. I need to go back and rewatch. I need to go back and rewatch Infinity War to get a better look at see how he look. Actually, tell you what, let's just Google Corvus Glaive. And then go to images. So first one. That's from Infinity War. That's when he is in Wakanda about to take down Vision. So honestly, not too bad. I mean, really, when you look at it, I mean, he's, you can see some of the markings here on the side of his face. And you can see here they got those same markings. So hopefully that figure comes out looking like this, because I think it'll be another really good. And, so we've gotten Ebony Maw with the Space Wizard. So if you want to check that out, check out another video on my channel as I have that figure. I did a review on it. Proxima Midnight is coming out in the form of the Shadow Void. She's due out in a few months. And then now we've gotten Corvus Glaive, so we are 3/4 of the way of having the entire Black Order. Will they do a Cull Obsidian? That is kind of the question right now, considering he's a lot bigger. And, I'm expecting, Toys Era did the Juggernaut figure a couple years ago for Deadpool 2. And he was a pretty good size figure, but I think Cull Obsidian would be even bigger than him. So could it be too big of a figure for a third party to do? I don't know. I hope not, because it would feel terrible to get 3 of the 4 and then never get the 4th one. And Hot Toys did us dirty on this figure as they teased him at a Comic-Con a couple years ago and never delivered. And that was kind of disappointing. But I think all in all, this looks really good. And I've already got him on pre-order. Looking forward to having him in hand. I will flip over to Neo Geeks. This is another place that I go to get some of my figures. Another figure I ordered this week was the Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I'm I'm taking a chance on this one. Now, this one is a little more expensive, but I'm taking a chance on that they're going to give us a full Universal Monsters line. So you can see the head sculpt there looks really good. I mean, he's creepy, right? He's supposed to be. He's Dracula. But I'm going to run that. I'm going to run that risk. That looks cool with the candle like that. So you get a couple different head sculpts. You get the coffin, which looks real cool. So I'm going to take a gamble that we are going to get a full set of the Universal Monsters. I'm a fan of the Universal Monsters. Crystal's a big fan of the Universal Monsters. So hopefully they'll give us a Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon, a Mummy, Frankenstein, maybe even Phantom of the Opera, Mr. Invisible Man. I almost called him Mr. Invisible. An Invisible Man, which is one of my favorites. So I'm hopeful that this infinite statue. The only thing is, this was, well, actually it is licensed, as you can see there on the bottom, as Dracula, and it's licensed. So Infinite Statue is the brand, which I think they're a European brand. I think they might be Italy, and that's probably why the price tag is a little bit higher on him than what it would be for, say, just like a regular figure that was made in Japan or potentially made here in the United States, wherever they would make those. So, but I think the figure looks really, really, really cool, and I'd be happy to have him on the shelf. But he doesn't come out for a long time. We're talking May 2022 to August 2022, so it's going to be a minute on him. And then, of course, you know, I don't really do the models. They showed a bunch of 112 models there and there, but I did also put him on pre-order. This is B Toys, which I've never heard of them before. This is a 1/6 scale Gotham Police. So this is the Joker in the police uniform with the rifle. I just kind of was digging this figure when I saw it get announced. I thought it looked really good. So I thought I would get it on pre-order and, you know, take a look at it, do a review for you guys. I mean, again, not coming till May 2022 to August 2022. So it's going to be a minute on him as well. So let's go back on 1/6 scale Outfitters. We talked about the Clone Wars Jesse and Captain Vaughn. I did that in a previous video. But also we have Mr. Dots from Suicide Squad. I kind of like the name Mr. Dots. It's kind of funny instead of Polka Dot Man. But I think this figure doesn't look too bad. I've got this figure on order as well. I like that they give you the other head sculpt with the dots on his face. I did like Suicide Squad. I thought it was a really good movie. This figure looks really cool. He's got a cat with him too. So that's the figure you're going to get. You get that kind of that accessory for the hand. You get a backpack. You get the extra head, bunch of hands, and then the cat. And this is by Thunder Toys. I don't think I have anything in my collection from Thunder Toys, but again, let's go back and see when is he coming out. So he's 200, second quarter of 2022, so probably that May time frame. And looking forward to that. We did get a 007 figure announced from Black 8 Studio. Agent 007. I haven't heard of them. I don't really like the head sculpt on it. It looked kind of weird. His nose looks funny. If you're a Kingsman fan, we did get a Mr. Harry figure by B Toys. I think this figure looks real nice. Pretty good likeness there, I think. I saw the first Kingsman. I don't think I've seen the second one. And I have seen the trailer for the new movie that comes out, you know, right around Christmas, and it looks like it'll be pretty good, where it kind of goes back to the beginning. There's just some other figures that that are also up for purchase. You get a Wolf of Wall Street figure there. Another 007 figure. If you're interested in these figures, I did do a preview on those figures on the channel, so go check that out. We also have a Mr. Tony figure that's from Iron Man 2. So we've got the boys, Billy Butcher. So there's quite a few figures here, third-party wise, and I'm happy that we're starting to get more third-party involvement in the figure market, because it helps flush out some characters that we probably otherwise aren't going to get from Hot Toys. You know, we never would have gotten a Polka Dot Man from Hot Toys. We still haven't seen the Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad. I think that they're waiting for the Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey to get released and pushed out to the public, and then they're going to do the Suicide Squad Harley, because I think, just in my opinion, is if you have a lot of people that's got pre-orders that's either fully paid for the figure or is on a payment plan or just waiting or whatever, and all of a sudden a new one gets released, they're going to be like, well, I don't want this one now, I want the new one. So they're going to cancel. They're going to have a bunch of cancellations on the older figures and then flip over and get a bunch of pre-orders on the new figures. So I think they're waiting to get those figures pushed out. Which I believe she has 2 figures, the caution tape jacket, that one, and then just calls it Harley Quinn, where she's got the mallet, and she's in that I think that's the roller derby portion of the film. So I have a feeling that that's probably what they're doing. They're waiting for those to get released. Which this one, I have this one on order. I don't have the other one on order yet. But this one says December 2021 to Feb 2021, which I think they pushed that date back. I think originally that date was supposed to be early this fall. I think when I made my pre-order, it was like September or October or something like that. This is November to December. So we really should be seeing this one, probably get released here in the next, I'd say next week or two, to see some final photos to get it pushed all the way out to the public. I like this figure. It's just, it always looks funny when Hot Toys doesn't give a figure a full pants and they just put them in shorts. You get the knee joint look kind of funny to me, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is a nice figure too. She got the sandwich, the caution tape jacket. So, and I was gonna say, I don't think you got her hyena. I don't think the other figure had the hyena either. Let's go check it out, but I don't believe it did. I think this one you just got the mallet. Yeah, the mallet is pretty much your main accessory. The roller skates too, you can flip it out for the boots and things like that. But that's really the main accessory. I like this one a little bit better than the other one. For some reason, I just kind of like the head sculpt on this one better than the other one. There's probably a little bit of updating going on with them, because I know a lot of people have complained about those head sculpts. So that could be one of the reasons why we haven't seen this one get out to the public yet, because maybe they're doing some updates to the head sculpt to make her look a little more Margot Robbie-ish. But it is what it is. So I think that's about it as far as the figures that we've got this past week. I think I've kind of ran through everything. Again, it wasn't a big week. I was calling for a big week for Hot Toys, but I was wrong, flat out wrong. We only got the one figure, was the quarter scale figure, and we got the one set of final blog photos for the Flash, and that was it. I was really thinking we were going to get the Athena figure. Perhaps they're checking out what the movie's doing. Let's check out Eternal's box office. Eternal's best Clifford the Big Red Dog at box office. That was 3 hours ago. They had a $27 million second weekend. So, actually, it's not. I guess that's not terrible. Despite the worst reviews ever for a Marvel movie and a B cinema score, the second weekend of Disney's Marvel's Eternals didn't implode, hitting 27.5 for the weekend. very close to where we saw it yesterday morning. That's a 61% decline from its opening weekend, which is at the higher end of projections. The pick made $7.8 million Friday. Through 10 days, the movie has estimated at $118.8 million worldwide, $284 million. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, obviously it's a little bit lower than probably what Marvel wanted and what Disney wanted. But, you know, in my opinion, it wasn't. I like this. The second weekend stuff was better than what I was expecting. I figured it would be lower than what it was. You see Deadline here. Eternals powers 27 million second weekend. Clifford louder with 22.5 5-day. Oh, that's the same. I'm sorry, that was the same article. I thought I clicked the first one the first time. That's the Los Angeles Times. We didn't have to read this. Eternals wins Best in Show over Clifford the Big Red Dog at box office. Clifford fetched an expected $16.4 million at domestic over the Veterans Day weekend, trailing Disney's Eternals. The blockbuster maintained first place with $27.5 million, a 61% drop from its opening weekend for North America. Cumulative of $118.8 million. So, you know, a second weekend in, you always have a big drop off on that second weekend. I think the only movie that really didn't have a big drop off was Endgame and Infinity War too, if I remember right. The drop offs on those weren't that big. You're always going to have a drop off for just any movie has a drop off that second weekend, as you know, people have seen it, they don't go rewatch it, word of mouth, or the hype dies down a little bit. People get really hyped for these movies and maybe they can't go, and then the hype kind of dwindles a little bit, and then they just, we'll wait till it comes out on Disney Plus, we'll wait till it comes out on, Blu-ray, whatever. So, I didn't really hear it was that good, things like that. So, it is what it is. And it says rounding out the top 5 are Warner Brothers' Dune, which collected $5.5 million in its fourth weekend for a total of $93.1 million, which I think is really impressive considering you can watch it on HBO Max. Anytime you can watch one of these on direct streaming for free the day of, like that movie, I mean, for the fourth weekend to pull $93 million, just in North America, I know that number's low. We're still in the pandemic and things like that, and that number's low, but you can go watch it. If you have HBO Max, every HBO Max subscriber can go watch it for free. So why are you going to go spend $20, $30 at the movie theater if you can watch it for free at home, And then we've got No Time to Die. Was an additional 4.6 in its sixth weekend for $150.5 million. We have not gone to see that movie. Normally I go see 007 the week it comes out, but I don't know. This one to me just doesn't feel. It just feels different. I've liked Daniel Craig. I liked Casino Royale. I liked Skyfall. Spectre was all right. Quantum of Solace was just kind of eh. But I don't know, just knowing that this is the last one for him and not really knowing where that franchise is going to go, where, with who, kind of driving that franchise, I just kind of, I'll just wait. That was kind of my thought. And then Sony's Venom, Let There Be Carnage grossed $4 million in its seventh weekend for $202.7 million in North America, which is, pretty good numbers. And we went and saw that movie the week it came out. I thought it was a good movie. That was good. The end credit scene is phenomenal because he is now coming into the MCU, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays in No Way Home, considering there's a bunch going to be going on in that movie. Next weekend, they're looking at Sony's Ghostbusters Afterlife and then King Richard. So that's something to keep an eye out on. I would assume Ghostbusters probably tops Eternals at the box office next week. I would say Eternals probably going to come in second, maybe third, depending what King Richard does. I don't think Clifford would keep that second spot because I think that'll have probably a fairly sized drop off and drop down past where Eternals is going to pull in. So we may go see Eternals again. But with all that being said, I think that's all the news for this week. My predictions, let's just go over my predictions one more time for this week. I think we'll see some I think we'll see Thena get released. I think we'll see some final photos for Cable. I think he'll get fully released to the public in Hong Kong. And third party, you never guess with third party. I'd love to see a Bloodsport figure come out third party next week, but we'll see. But as far as Hot Toys goes, that's kind of my prediction. I doubt we see anything else. Usually, I always feel like this time of year it starts to slow down a little bit as we hit Christmas. But this is obviously weird because of the pandemic, and they push so much stuff back, and now things are kind of coming out in bunches, right? So that's something to look out for as we start to head towards the holidays. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and hope everyone has a great week. And as always, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.